news source for all things real estate in the Charlotte market. My name is Ann Rudd with LPT Realty and owner of the Ann Rudd Group. And I missed yesterday's call. I'm sorry, I had a family emergency, but I am back and we are going to pretend it's Market Monday because I want to talk about what happened during the past week in the real estate market. Take a look at some homes that were listed, take a look at a few homes that went under contract, and just look at the data. And we're going to compare it to the week prior. Okay. So let me get over here to show that information. And I was just taking a look at some homes, and this is actually one we're going to take a look at. So, as always, I look at what happened Monday to Monday in the counties of Cabarrus, Union, Mecklenburg, Iredell, Gaston, Lancaster, South Carolina, and York, South Carolina. So, right here for this past week, we had 983 listings. We had a top list price of $8.25 million. And let me see what we got here. Under contracts show and no show. So 578 went under contract as show, 343 as no show. And then 749 homes closed last week from Monday to Monday, and 27 of them, 27 listings expired. I keep an eye on those just to see what the week to week numbers look like. I am very, very interested in this this piece of data because it does tend to give me an idea of what's going on in the market. You know, a few years ago, it was very, very rare to have an expired listing. They have returned, and I just like to keep an eye on that number. So let's take a look at some of these this other data. So for the active homes, the average price, list price for them right now is $587,679. For the under contract shows, it's a little bit less than that at $563,358. For the under contract no shows, it's a little bit higher at $608,981. And then the closed is $594,395. And the average actually expired list price, which I find very interesting, is $621,948. So, you know, in weeks past, we've seen a big difference between that active, the average active list price, the under contracts, and the closed. We're not seeing a huge difference. Here we have a difference of, you know, the two extremes here are 563 for the under contract list price, and then for the under contract no shows is 608,981. So those are our two extreme numbers. So there's not a lot of difference. We're not seeing a bunch of one-offs here. And I want to take a look at the closed homes, and their average down market is 42. Okay. Now the average actives, well, you know, these were listed for a week, so they just came on the market. But look at this. We have an average closed day on market. So that was for the week prior for all those homes that closed, 42 days on market. Now we have under contract shows and under contract no shows at 35 and 36 respectively. So day on market's coming down. And I will continue to keep an eye on this because I find this data to be very, very interesting. And since we're here, let me go back for a second and take a look at some of our bigger, you know, some of our interesting listings. As you know, we see a lot of homes listed that are new construction. We have a lot of homes that are listed up at the lake. This is a new construction. It is not completed. It is in Cornelius and it was listed for $8.25 million. So we will see what happens with that home as we look through these listings. Now, one thing that I noticed that we don't always have is we have 2 listings above $3 million that were listed in Rock Hill. And this is, oh, look at that hot tub. It's a heart shape. So this is interesting to me. Why is it interesting? Because we have not had that many listings above $3 million in Rock Hill. That wasn't significant acreage. So this is interesting. A lot of interesting photos here. And so that one is listed at 3.495 million. And then we had this home on Ivy Arbor Circle, also a twilight photo. I think those twilight photos are so spectacular. This is on a lake in Rock Hill. And this home, how big is this house? How big is this house, Dan? It is 8,097 square feet. Beautiful home, gated driveway. I love gated driveways, and just very picturesque view of the lake there. And yeah, this house shows really, really well in its photos. So there you go. There's a lot of fridges there. Okay, so this is a great house. And so we don't see a lot of Rock Hill homes being listed. So I'm always looking for one that's like a one-off. And so there's that. Here's one in Davidson. We don't see a lot of multi-million-dollar homes in Davidson. And this home was built in 2020. This is, I'm getting a little tired, to be honest with you, of the white farmhouse. But I think this house has got it's got some softer lines. It is not as angular. It's just not all white. It's got some wood detailing that I think is quite attractive. Yeah, I'm kind of over the white farmhouse look. I will have to tell you. One thing I want to talk about here, and I don't complain about agents and what they do, but I will have to say this. If you are listing your home or you're an agent, you really have to think about photo placement. Okay. And what does that mean, photo placement? If you're on the internet looking at houses, how many photos do you scroll through before you get to the kitchen? Okay. Because most people want to see the kitchen. Like, let me see the kitchen. Let me see the family room. Let me see the master bedroom. Let me see or primary bedroom, sorry, and the primary bathroom. If there's any interesting outdoor features. So that's kind of the flow. Kitchen to living room, primary bedroom, primary bath, any exterior features. And if you do it that way, it might feel a little bit disjointed, but I, as a consumer, want to see those houses. I want to see those features in those houses. Okay. And that's what I want to see first. What I don't want to see is a foyer, because I don't care about it. Let's face it. Nobody is going to buy a house. It has to be a bad foyer for you to not buy a house because of it. Agree? It has to be bad. But that kitchen is pretty important. And if you think about looking at homes and clicking through photos, I get annoyed at having to click to 27 before I see the kitchen, because I typically don't click that long. So if you're thinking about how many clicks it's taking, I want to see the kitchen. I want to see the living room. I want to see the primary bedroom suite. I want to see the outdoor space. Those are the spaces that are interesting to me. Okay. Yes, you got kids, you want kids' bedrooms, whatever. I like this view because take a look at this feature right here. This is some of the wood detailing. This ceiling is really beautiful. And this back screen porch has a heater. And I like to see that in this price point. Guys, there are details in these $1 million, $2 million, $3 million homes that sometimes get overlooked. And this is I wouldn't say required feature, but there needs to be one. There needs to be one here. So we'll go through this now. Wait a minute. We did see the family room and the kitchen here, but I don't have a good view. I can see that it's open, right? So that's photo 9. 10, outdoor space. 11. So it takes me to photo 11 before I get to the kitchen. Is that acceptable for you? I don't know. I don't know. For me, I like to see them a little bit closer to the front, like front photo. If there's something interesting about the house interior wise that's on the main level, I might do that. But then I'm going to go straight to the living room / kitchen. If they are open to each other, it'll probably be a living room view into the kitchen, then back to the living room view. Make sense? That's just the way that I like to handle it because I'm real anal retentive about these photos. And I understand that buyers want to get to the meat quick. And if you think about looking at homes online, you may only have 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds for them to say, might like to see this house in person. If you're waiting until the 29th click to show the kitchen, you may need to readjust the photo flow. Okay. Just my 2 cents. You take it or leave it. All right, let's go on. I think this house is beautiful. I do love the glass front. I don't love them in all my cabinets, but I think that's beautiful. It's styled really well. I love that oven. I want to kidnap it. This is also a pretty typical feature for a 2 million plus home is a dog washing station. Okay. So very interesting. Drop zone, very important. Looks like a back staircase and a second refrigerator. I don't see a great photo of that, but that's an interesting, and that's a very good feature. There being a second refrigerator somewhere in that house is expected. Okay. This looks like a downstairs guest, downstairs primary up here. Yep. Downstairs primary. I'm not a fan of these mirrors, by the way. I think they look kind of cheap. They look good in the photos, but I think they kind of look cheap when you start looking at them. Okay. There's a shower. That closet's pretty darn nice. That's a nice closet. I like the built-ins. I think that is also something that is required in this price point. This is a beautiful home, just simply beautiful. Upstairs. Cute bedroom, bathroom. And this is like the media playroom upstairs space. And there is the 3-car garage. And then this is the outdoor space. So if this had a swimming pool, I would show this to some clients. It does not have a swimming pool. I do like the fireplace. So this is a great house. I think this house is gorgeous. 2.95 million. Really, really stunning home. All right. So let's take a look at some things that have gone under contract. If we can get there eventually. This is all actives. We'll get there, I promise. All right, here we go. So let's go back a little bit under contracts. All right, so here's a home in Fort Mill at the Ridge at Fort Mill. It was listed for $1.75 million and it went under contract in one day. I'm going to tell you something, guys, and let me take a look at the features. Okay. In the $1.5 to $2.5 million price point, these homes, especially in Union County, in Marvin, Waxhaw, Weddington, and Fort Mill, this, I believe, is the hottest part of our real estate market right now. There are a lot of buyers. You are seeing these homes go under contract like a flash. The best homes are always going to sell first, but these homes that are priced correctly are going very, very fast. This home is a newer home. And as you can see, it shows exceptionally well. There's a downstairs office. There's built-ins in the family room. It has these seamless doors that kind of close up into the wall so you can open everything up. Is that a screen porch? Probably behind it. This is a spectacular home. Very nice kitchen. This is what you would expect. And look over here, guys. This is called a butler's pantry, okay? This is also in this price point what I would like to see. This home, this is really pretty. This is pretty. This looks like primary. Yep. This is the kind of bathroom you'd like to see. This is the kind of closet you want to see with built-ins. This is laundry. Absolutely stunning. No wonder this house sold in a day. In this price point, I like to see bathrooms that are all different. I saw a house last week in this price point, and look, the heater is built into the ceiling here. There's a fireplace. I am going to assume that these screens scroll down from this beam here for it to be a screen porch. It looks like maybe they're down. I'm not sure. But these heaters on this patio are almost a must, like I've said in this price point. This is an outdoor kitchen that looks nice, pool. This is a great house. This is a great house. And check out how they did these bowls of fire, these fire features. This is just a great house. And look, there's an exterior shower. Beautiful yard, natural area for puppy dogs. So this is a great house. It sold in a day. It was listed for 1.75 million in Fort Mill. It's a Lenane home. Lenane builders are local, and I think they're absolutely spectacular. Let's take a look at one more house. And let's look at a place where we don't typically look at homes. Here's one in Cramerton. Okay. This is over in Gaston County. So if we look at the map, okay, I don't know if this is going to show us. No, it's not going to show you. I'll show you in a bit. But Cramerton is it's like you go past Belmont just a little bit, like you're headed towards Gastonia, and it's a little bit south of 85. So Cramerton's nice, and this is a pretty good size home. We'll see how long it took to sell in a minute. It's on a golf course, big house. I like the exterior areas. I mean, this is an older home. It's going to show like an older home. There's some built-ins that clearly look like they need some zhuzhing up, even if it's just changing the cabinetry doors. A kitchen that also needs some re-zhuzhing. But again, this is a pretty house. It's a big house, and this home was built in 97, and it sold in 10 days. So here again, we have a $1.1 million house in Cramerton, North Carolina, in Gaston County that is selling in less than 2 weeks. So guys, this is kind of what's going on in our market right now. It's busy in some pockets. That $1.5 million to $2.5 million range is very, very busy, especially if the home has some of those features I talked about: swimming pool, fenced yard, 3+ car garage, white kitchen. Like that house in Fort Mill really had a lot of features for the money. And I know not everybody can afford that, but if you are in that pocket, you're not, unless you find a home that's been on the market 40, 60 days, you can't go in under list if it has the features we've been talking about. I've been digging in on this price point because I've got a client that's looking, and it's competitive. So I like to see that. I think it's really interesting. No, not everybody is in that price point, but I just find it really interesting that price point is really moving fast right now. So So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you have a really good Tuesday, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. as I am every day. Check me out at cltmarketbuzz.com if you'd like to be uh, get on my email or my email newsletter every week that goes out on Thursday. cltmarketbuzz.com. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message here on YouTube or shoot me a text 704-617-0847. I'd love to talk to you about anything. If you want to see what's going on in your neighborhood, in your town, if you're thinking about moving here and need some information, I would love to help you with that. So just let me know how I can help. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.